classic book, The Little Island. It was written by Margaret Wise Brown and illustrated by Leonard Weisgard. This is an old one. It was written in 1946 originally. So once there was an island, and the island is all alone in the sea. Very quiet mornings for the island, except for the spiders and a few trees and shrubs. Some crustaceans come along, and slowly other animals come to the island as well. Seals. More and more life comes to the island. Seagulls laying eggs. Butterflies, birds start to come around with the summer. And finally, boats start sailing by the island. On one of the boats is a group of people and their cat. The cat is just enamored with the island and goes exploring. Cute little black cat. But the cat decides to start to speak to the island and tells the island, "Oh, you're all alone." The island says, "No, I'm not. Ask the fish." So the cat asks the fish, and the fish says, "Oh, I can show you, but you have to go to the bottom of the ocean." The cat says, "I can't." Fish says, "You just have to have faith in what I tell you. The island is not alone. If you go under the sea, the island is connected to the land and is not alone." So the kitten believes the fish and agrees that the island is not alone in the world, and the island feels comforted with that and reassured that it's not alone. The big storm comes to the island, crashing waves. But the island still feels strong. Days and nights pass, and the sun comes again to the island. Lovely book. Moral of the story, of course, being that we are not alone, even when we feel alone. We are connected to humanity as a whole, so don't feel alone. Think about your connection to others if you can. Very classic book about loneliness expressed through a young boy. This is a book that has never really been one of my favorites, but now that I have a son of my own who's young, I guess I like the book a bit more. Can relate to the character more. Here's a young boy, and he is just deciding to cause some mischief. He kind of gets in an argument with his mother and decides he's going to go to bed without eating. He wakes up in a forested area, vines everywhere, and then he gets on a boat and he sails off. He's happy about all of this too. He doesn't have to deal with arguing with his family. He sees a monster. Doesn't frighten the boy though. And he encounters more and more monsters, more wild things. And eventually the boy becomes king of the wild things, asserting his dominance over them by telling the wild things that if they don't do what he wants, they'll have to go to bed without dinner, much like he was told by his mother. So they're having a jolly good time. Finally, the boy tells the wild things that he's going to return home. He smells something delicious cooking, so the boy goes off to see what it is. And it ends up being his dinner. And apparently he eats his dinner before going to sleep. This was written by Maurice Sendak. The Blue House, written by Phoebe Wall. This is a story about moving and how it affects a boy and his father. The boy and his father live together alone in this charming blue house. As we learn in the story, the house is not fancy, it's drafty, has dripping water. But the father and the son make really great memories in it and just love their house. One day the boy is looking out his window and he notices that there's some digging going on across the street. Turns out apartments are going to be put up around the blue house, and the father becomes worried that the blue house might be torn down. The person that they are renting the home from tells them, yes, their worst fears are being realized and their home will be torn down and they must move. So the dad takes the boy out for ice cream and breaks the news. The boy is very, very, very angry about it, rightfully so, I guess. And the dad says to the boy, hey, let's listen to some loud music and dance around and kind of scream and get our aggression and our anger out. It helps, but they're still sad. They start to pack up their things, and then they have an idea of painting the walls before they leave, before they vacate the premises. Kind of reminds me of what some monks do. They make these ornate sand mandalas and then they apparently just blow them off into oblivion as soon as they're done. Like this father and son, they painted this knowing that it would just be destroyed. Yes, that's the beauty of life. So they go to their new house and they hate it. They're still thinking about their old blue house that has since been destroyed. But the dad has another idea with painting. Let's paint the blue house on the wall of our new house to remember it. They bake a pie together and start to make some good memories in their new house. And the book ends with the father and son dancing, creating new, strong, happy memories in their new home. Yeah, love this book. Has that cool retro 90s vibe. I'm not quite sure when it was written. Let me check for you. Okay, it was actually written in 2020, so never mind. But it has a cool retro vibe nonetheless. So yes, I thank you for joining me today and have a wonderful upcoming week. Bye. An invitation to tap that like button if you value my content. Little thing you can do that would mean so much to me. Thanks.